They tried to shut me down and squelch me. They made me trend on Twitter negatively, but they couldn't shut me up, and they couldn't stop me, and they don't know what to do.
I hated that. That was just the worst thing that ever happened. You know, when I was trending on Twitter multiple times, and I just got this huge influx of viewers and subs and subscribers and followers on Twitter. I mean, it's just outrageous. You know what time it is, everybody. It's time to speak some truth to power. Let's get rid of those globalists and elitists, you know? You see this? You see this right here? It's going to be a good interview. My Jimmy Dore impression just gets better. I don't care what you say, Chad. I don't care that you're like, that sounds nothing like him. Lance, your interviews are like your voices are usually on point. You do a very good Ruben. You do a very good Alex Jones. What the fuck is up with your Jimmy Dore? You see this? You see this?
And the left revolves almost exclusively around identity, which is, in other words, me. Narcissism is about me.
Yeah.
But you kept talking about economics. That used to be the central conversation on the left, or in America, actually.
Yeah.
Why no more?
Because the establishment has learned how to co-opt identity politics to put the brakes on economic progress and justice. So the joke I do. So if you want to help, I would say if you want to help black people, nothing would help them more than free college, student loan relief, and Medicare for all, and a living wage. You want to help them? That would be the way to help them.
Oh no, the worst man on the planet is making good points.
But Joe Biden comes in, does none of those things, but he makes Juneteenth the holiday. So do you understand what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do understand.
So it's all signal.
I mean, I would also add, don't associate with the Boogaloo Boys. That could probably help a little bit too.
But there's no substance. We're signaling that we want to help the minority community, but we're not actually helping them. So that's what identity politics is. It's a big diversion. And the joke I say, you know, if it was 1860, the Democrats would be bragging about their first transgendered slave owner. And so what I'm trying to tell people is that when you vote for them, when you vote for somebody inside the Democratic Party, no matter what they say, no matter what they believe, they're going to go along with Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi goes along with Goldman Sachs and Raytheon. So when you're voting for someone inside the Democratic Party, you're voting for Goldman Sachs and Raytheon because they are not standing up to those people. So the idea that we have progressives inside the Democratic Party, it's actually more deleterious to the progressive movement to have them there. Why is that, Jimmy? Because it gives people a false impression that there's somebody in government fighting for you, that there's one of the parties that are kind of on your side, and they aren't. And the quicker people realize that both parties are not on their side, they only serve the oligarchy. We are, in fact, in an oligarchy. Your democracy.
Wow. So there's no question that there's definitely a huge problem, especially with the corporate Democrats, that they are definitely upholding the status quo for corporations. They are more interested in their financial backing than they are at actually helping the lives of millions of Americans by passing something in as crucial as Medicare for all, for example. That is true. I can't push up on that too much, but there is still something to be said about the differences between the Republicans and the Democrats. The Democrats are slightly more humane towards their own citizens. They're still very, very bad on the global arena. As you've seen, Joe Biden, he's still bombing Somalia, still bombing Syria, still bombing Iran. There's no question about that. But they did just pass a massive bill that is going to alleviate a lot of families, especially those who are going to be getting less burden on their taxes if they have children. That will definitely help, raise a lot of the poorest Americans. Many of them happen to be Black. Many of them happen to be Hispanic. Many of them happen to be Indigenous. So there is that. They have been a little bit better on issues of, again, trans rights. There's there is things you can point towards being a difference. And there are, of course, things that are still deeply, deeply wrong with the Democrats.
Was stolen way before Trump. Until that happens, we won't ever have real change.
But what about Ocasio-Cortez? She's on Instagram.
Ocasio-Cortez campaigned on a floor vote on Medicare for all. And she campaigned.
She didn't do what I wanted. I wanted her to do things. She never did them. Why won't she do what I want? Am I against Assange? No, free Julian Assange. Absolutely.
And creating what she called a ruckus. meaning you have to stop being polite. This is a quote. You have to stop being polite. We tried being polite, and it got us nowhere. And it wasn't until we started acting out and speaking impolitely.
I'm confusing you, aren't I, Matt? You're trying to lump me into the box. You're trying to be like, well, I mean, this is clearly a pro-U.S. imperialist. So he must hate Julian Assange, and he must love the Democrats, and he must love Joe Biden. I mean, clearly, he's never talked shit about any of them, and yet this is odd. He seems to despise Joe Biden. He hates the Democrats. He's against U.S. imperialism. He wants to dissolve and disarm the U.S. military-industrial complex, and at the same time, he also wants Julian Assange to be free. So what's going on?
That we even created the circumstances for change. That's what she tweeted. So I'm just doing what she said. So I started to put heat on people like AOC and Rashid Tlaib and Ro Khanna and all the Justice Democrats in the squad to force the vote. And they said I was committing violence against them with my words. That's how scared they got.
Were you?
That's how scared. You really telling them to do what they ran on? That's violence. That's how afraid they were. And all the things. So they had people write hit pieces on me in the Daily Mag.
Oh my God. Like the delusions of grandeur with this man. So whether or not you want to say that Medicare for All and the Force the Vote campaign was a good thing or a bad thing doesn't matter. You know, doesn't matter where you stand on that. The fact that you've consistently tried to make this about yourself, that like, you know, they fear me, and at the end of the day, they wouldn't do what I wanted, and they didn't do this one thing that I really wanted them to do. So now they're doing all kinds of things to try and get me destroyed and taken down. They're trying to silence me.
New York Magazine, Newsweek, BuzzFeed, they tried to shut me down and squelch me. They made me trend on Twitter negatively, but they couldn't shut me up, and they couldn't stop me, and they don't know what to do.
I hated that. That was just the worst thing that ever happened. You know, when I was trending on Twitter multiple times, and I just got this huge influx of viewers and subs and subscribers and followers on Twitter. I mean, it's just outrageous.
Because again,
how could they have attacked me?
They have Wikipedia.
They tried to silence me by amplifying my voice. How could they have done that? God damn. They silenced me.
Putting smears on me that I can't get rid of. CNN's calling me. It's unbelievable what's going on. Just a comedian, a pothead comedian in his garage. What you can do when you want to tell the truth inside journalism and politics, and you can create a ruckus. And I did. And so now everybody sees that those people are fakers and they're corrupt. And the reason...
It's horrible that Dore pushed Tucker to the left. What a terrible person. Oh man, okay, I'm taking the bait. You debated me on that one. Tucker Carlson is a white nationalist. He's the most prominent white nationalist operating on the sphere. His talking points are consistently echoed as sentiments that are attuned to white nationalism by white nationalists. Like Nick Fuentes. Like the ex-head of the KKK. They'll be like, this is the person who speaks for us. You know? God damn. I'm so tired of people trying to, it's ironic saying this, whitewash Tucker Carlson. Like, his coding and his messaging is not even transparent anymore. He's very, very vocal about good old Western Christian values and people coming over from other places, and they're changing our demographic. And all of a sudden, we don't even recognize what a country is anymore. It's bizarre. There's just these different kinds of people replacing us, if you will. And as they replace us, suddenly our country's changed. We don't even recognize it anymore.
Why I say they're corrupt is not because they take corporate money and do the bidding of corporations, but they're doing the bidding of their own career, right? Their own self-dealing.
Yeah.
So if I go along with the establishment, I'm going to get a book deal, I'm going to get speaking fees, and I'm going to be in Congress for at least 5 years, and then I get a pension for the rest of my life. That is corrupt, and that's why they're not pushing back.
What happened to you in all of this?
Because Nancy Pelosi could come in and crush you. Hey, we'll fund somebody in a primary to your left, just like she did to Joe Crowley, AOC, right? So that's what they're all afraid of. They're afraid of the power of the establishment taking away what little power and that they have in Congress.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Oh, God, no. Like, the whole reason why Jimmy Dore is brought on to Tucker Carlson isn't because he's there to push him further to the left. It's because right now he's echoing all the things that Tucker Carlson's audience wants to hear, and they can say that they're getting it from from a leftist perspective. So if he's on there and he's speaking truth to power and he's like, hey, by the way, the Democrats are entirely corrupt. By the way, every single one of them is just upholding the values of the oligarchy. We have to destroy them. Tucker Carlson isn't sitting there saying like, yes, you're right. The Democrats truly are very corrupt. And so keep talking. Keep doing what I want, and hopefully we can get the Republicans back in power until the end of eternity. That's what's going to happen here. Yeah, that one's good. He's just like, he's such a narcissist. Everything is about him, and he espouses to want to fight for like working class people, and he's trying to push for all these things. But it just really comes down to, are you going to do what I want at any given time? Are you going to do the strategy that I want? Because this is what I want now. Why isn't everyone doing what I say?
They're going to lower the Medicare eligibility age from 65 to 60. Now, I'm going to tell you why that is garbage. First of all, it doesn't do anything for people under 60. Second of all, that's another giveaway to the health insurance companies. How could that be, Jimmy? Because the sickest people that the health insurers have to insure are the 60 to 65-year-old people. They're the ones who are taking up all their money. So they want to push those sick people off on the government. And that's exactly what they did. So now their profits are going to go up because of this. The 60 to 65-year-old people suck their profits out. Now the government's going to pay it. So they're going to lower.
Cool. Normal stuff. Just normal stuff. I think there's another one too. It's been on a tear lately with these.
Jen Psaki, Biden unmoved on marijuana legalization despite Schumer's legislation. The horrifying moment when even Chuck Schumer is too progressive for Joe Biden. Where's Bernie on this? Silent, taking orders from the corporatist warmonger like he's fucking always has. Where's your movement, Bernie? Where's this movement? Where is it? Asked about the majority's leaders' proposal. I've done more without a movement than he has with it. Where was your push for Medicare for all, Bernie? I did one in December. Where was yours? You never did one.
Jimmy Dore has done more for Medicare for all than Bernie Sanders. This one's actually good. This is one I can get on board with. Oh, nice. Veggie straws are okay. Hey, we talked about Wrap Snacks. It's a black-owned business, which is pretty cool. Bugles, still all right. That's good. Fan of Bugles. You can wear them on your hands, and you can pretend you're salad fingers. You can pretend like you're salad fingers. So that's good. Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks, why do older generations believe the things they believe? One of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our wonderful gods, Xander Corvus, VK Jehannam, T. Grow, and Peyton L. Just, may you smite all of our enemies. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we are your humble servants, ready to do all your bidding. To our lords, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we shall proudly carry your banner on the online battlefield. To our Knights of the Round Table, Val 9000, Jenna Tal, Dark Puppy, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Chronic the Hemphog, Phone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Jimmy Big Nuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glass and we raise our swords and we salute you.